Computer running slow? Has your machine somehow acquired a life of its own? Or do you simply desire a deeper and more meaningful connection? Be one with your operating system. It's Arizona's computer guru, Mike Swanson, and his show starts now. Listen in, chat in, and watch live streaming at gurushow.com. Want your voice to be heard? Call in with your questions and riddles. The number is 520-790-2040. This is the Computer Guru Show on AM 1030, KVOI, The Voice.
Hello and welcome to the Computer Guru Show. My name's Mike, here to deal with your technology needs and treat you like a person in the process. 520-790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. Once again, 520-790-2040. You know what I love about coming to this place?
What?
Man, the internet's awesome.
Oh, I know.
It's great. It's like, I wish I could get internet like this at home. That's what I'm saying. It's just wonderful. Is this call for me or no? No? Okay. All right, so 790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. So last week we talked, we had an interesting phone call where we were being told we should focus more on the government being, D-bags.
Yeah.
Rather than this whole Apple FBI thing. Mm-hmm. Even though the FBI is the government.
Yeah. Even though it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It was the same argument.
It was sort of the same argument.
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand the differentiation, or he was saying it was a little bit different. Yeah, it's just coming at it from a different angle. It's the same overall argument.
Right.
So we'll start with something else this week.
Okay.
Yeah, that way we don't. How about Comcast?
Okay.
How about Comcast is now in the focus of the California legislature.
True.
And I don't know if you've ever been scrolling around on YouTube and seen the customer service cancellation calls, right? Mm-hmm. So people who try to cancel their service with Comcast, and they record the sometimes hour-long debate that they have with Comcast employees about canceling. Mm-hmm. And in one of them, it's 40 minutes long, and the guy, all he says the entire phone call is, "I'd like to cancel my service, please." And the Comcast employee is just like, "Why would you want to go away from the best internet service provider there ever was, ever?" And he's like, "I'd like to cancel my service, please." And it just goes on and on forever. To the point where I understand why most people just give up. Mm-hmm. Just hang up and say, well, I guess I'm not canceling. I guess I'll just go ahead and continue to pay the $80 a month or $100 a month or whatever it is for my Comcast service because I'm not going to put up with that phone call. Mm-hmm. Well, California says that, you know what, let's deal with this a different way. They're going to mandate that people are able to cancel online. Hit a button, cancel your account.
That's a good call.
Yeah, I think so also. Seriously, we should put some links to those phone calls in the show notes because it is amazing to listen to as far as I can't believe that people actually get paid to do that. It just doesn't, it seems like it shouldn't be legal for that type of it's just like when you're a customer of like Comcast or whatever, mm-hmm. each of you are responsible for a certain set of rules. Right? The Comcast says this is how much data you're allowed to have in your account per month. They say these are the channels that we're going to provide. This is the speed that we're going to give you for a certain price. And that's pretty much the end of the rules that they can set.
Right.
On the other side of things, though, you're the client. And you can say, I don't want to have this associated to me anymore. And there shouldn't be an hour-long fight with you to make that happen. You know, they shouldn't wear you down to the point where you're just like, you know what? Screw it. Charge me. Just keep charging me forever because I don't want to talk to you ever again. And that's just really, it should not be like that. It's ridiculous. So I think that's a great idea, and I hope that they implement that nationwide.
That would be nice.
Any account that you have, you should be able to just go on the internet and say, you know what? Cancel this. Now, there should be a checks and balances system. There should be a confirmation email. So just so you don't have, people hacking the system and it's canceling everybody's internet account.
Right. But at the same time, you can set up the account online.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. I always called them.
I do online. I don't like talking to people on the phone. The
My
last time I did that, I had to cancel my trash service. It took an hour and a half, so I just don't like doing that. So this would be perfect for me.
All right.
Yeah. Cancel it online.
So the canceling online thing, I think, is great. I think that they should be just all over this for everyone, especially with Comcast. In fact, I would like it if they would just make it so that if Comcast service was not up to what you're paying for, that they somehow made it so that it automatically gave you a free month.
That'd be beautiful.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Because I'll tell you right now, nothing spurns the idea of a better technological improvement in a cable company than them not getting paid.
True.
So I think that if they were to make it so that, Cox and Comcast, and Time Warner, and AT&T, right, the four big ones in the country, if they had some sort of metrics built in where suddenly your internet just wasn't up to snuff, right? It's not going the speed you paid for, or it's down for, let's say more than 3 times in a week. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at you, Comcast, in Tucson. If that were the case, then I get a free month out of it. Man, I'll tell you right now, my internet would be solid if that were the case. Or it'd be free. Because right now it'd be free. It'd be totally free. Because I called Comcast the other day for the one location I have that has Comcast as an internet provider, because the internet is just ridiculous. It's flaky. It's in and out. It's an expensive account. They really need to be working on the reliability for that account. So I call them up, and I'm like, my internet is currently not working. And they're like, okay, well, let's take a look at it. And they're like, there's no outages reporting to your area. And I'm like, great. That's awesome. I'm glad that I'm the only one having this problem at the moment. And so they're like, okay, so we're gonna send out a technician to find out what's going on at your area, right? Maybe it's my little neighborhood that I work in or live in or whatever, right? So they try to schedule the tech, and she's like, oh, I am showing an outage in your area. I can't send a tech. I'm like, well, what happened to the 3 minutes ago when there was no outage in my area? And she's like, oh, sometimes it just happens. Fine. All right.
She forgot to hit F5.
So if your internet's still not working tomorrow, go ahead and give us a call and we'll schedule a tech. And I'm like, oh, come on. Tomorrow? I just have to wait, right? Because they don't know when they're going to fix that particular outage in my particular area that they didn't know about 3 minutes ago. Comcast, man, get it together.
And I have a credit forthcoming, correct?
I tried that once with the Tucson Electric Power. You'll hear me complain about all the time, because it's not like I can go and get power service from anyone else. So at one point, the strip where the main Computer Guru location is at was out for 2 days, right? During like a monsoon season. There was no no electricity for 2 days. And I was bent out of shape, and I called up Tucson Electric Power, and I'm like, you guys need to be, get this going, right? I'm paying employees. I am closed effectively for 2 days. And they're like, so what do you want us to do about it? I'm like, you need to make sure that I'm getting a credit or something. And they're like, well, you're not being charged for electricity right now. It's off. And I'm like, you and your monopoly, I'm telling you. Oh, man. Oh.
Got to give it to them, though. They're right.
I couldn't argue with the logic. I was actually impressed.
Yeah.
But still, right? Come on. Don't they know? Don't you know who I am? No, just kidding. Anyway, 790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. Let's go ahead and mention our sponsor, Perfection Auto Works. You know what? I did some work for Mike.
Cool.
All right, so we went down there and checked out a couple of his machines, and we did a solid state upgrade on one of them. And I believe that he is happy, and it's pretty awesome. So I was looking at I'm sitting around there waiting for the machine to do its thing, and I'm looking around, and I'm noticing some of the things that they have around there. And now, if you're David, one of my employees, David,
yes.
Who has a considerable pack rat problem, or if you live in the foothills, you might have one of these issues. You can get something that they have that's called a Rit-A-Rat. Mm-hmm. It's $50. It's installed.
It's not bad.
Keeps the rats out of your engine compartment.
It's pretty cool.
It's a little strobe light. It's pretty cool. And as always, they do the free 26-point inspection for free.
Free.
Not to mention the free inspection is free.
Free is good.
Free is my favorite number.
Free is primo.
And one other thing that I didn't even know about, they do these special brakes.
Special brakes.
Yeah, no dust, no noise, guaranteed. It's pretty
Nice.
awesome. You should check them out, perfectionautoworks.com. They got a new website, and you should thank them for sponsoring the Computer Guru Show. We'll be right back.
Whether you're dealing with hardware installation or, heaven forbid, a virus,
No!
Mike Swanson is answering all your questions one by one. So call in or chat in with yours. The website, gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show on AM 1030 KVOY The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show.
Welcome back to the Computer Guru Show. My name's Mike, here to deal with your technology needs and treat you like a person in the process. 790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. 520-790-2040.
Just breathe.
Yeah, sorry. It's one of the first weeks that I've had 3 things happen that I haven't done in a long time on the show. I slept for more than 4.5 hours, which is a record. It's amazing. And then I had a Starbucks energy drink before the show.
Which you don't normally do anymore.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. Long time. So, and I think
How's
it was mainly,
it feel?
I think it was mainly because I have this Microsoft Band health tracker, and I have the feeling that I was, working on, coronary with, my caffeine intake.
Yeah.
But I only do it once a week.
That's true.
And I haven't been even doing that. It's been sort of
It's been a lot of water.
mostly water. Yeah.
Which is good, too.
I'm getting old. That's what's happening. 790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. If, I wonder if Mike's going to call in, because he said he was going to call in. But I wanted to get feedback on the solid state upgrade for his machine. So if he does, then we'll get some update.
There you go.
I know you were happy with yours.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of you and happiness,
Yay.
so
I'm so happy.
so last night I had decided that so my daughter got in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, she got a D in her science class, which I was just like, how is that possible? It's like science is... How do you get a D in science?
I guess it depends on the science and whether or not you like it. There's a lot of different sciences. And as someone who did not have very good grades in school, I can understand this.
She's in 7th grade science.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
know.
like we're talking like splitting atoms here. How hard can
I'm
it be?
highly aware.
So she has had some phone restrictions placed upon her life. And then, then she did something else to get in trouble. And so there were further restrictions placed upon her world. And so I installed some software on her phone, and it is overtly Orwellian.
I love
it.
it.
Is awesome. So you were mentioning last night you were looking at the report for your kids with
Yes.
the Windows 10 parental controls.
Yes, I was.
How do you dig them?
I like them a lot. I don't know if I would call it Orwellian exactly, but it is pretty in-depth. I get to see exactly what web pages he's going to. I can block them, if I want to. I see exactly how many minutes and seconds he spends on said websites, what programs he opens, even programs like Paint. Like if he opens Paint for 2 minutes, it tells me. And then I can restrict time sessions. So over spring break, he was wanting to spend like 7 hours a day, and that's way, way, way too much. So we've brought that down a little bit, and he's not too happy about it, of course, but, you know, he's playing outside more, so that's the goal right there.
Right on. So with the software that I put on my daughter's phone, it gives me a breakdown of, you know, what app she's using. It gives me even the contents of text messages, in and outbound, periodic location updates. It's crazy.
I think that's good.
It's awesome, and it's only $45 a year.
That's not bad at all.
And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Because, and I switched her out of a Samsung into a Motorola phone, where I have control of the Motorola account. So even if she sets a password on the phone, I can reset it from the website. So
good.
So for the people who are interested in keeping track of your kids' activity online, then this is how you do it.
Which you should, by the way.
Yeah, you should.
I've done career days that have been disappointing. I'm not even joking.
While we've got Mike calling in, because he said he was going to.
Hi, Mike.
Let's talk to Mike.
Well, good morning, folks. How you guys doing?
Good. So
good. I called.
How's the solid state going for you?
Oh man, I'm glad you talked me into it. It is one of the coolest things that I've ever done on a computer, and I didn't do it. You did it with your expertise. I got to tell you, you boot it up. 4 seconds later, you're on the internet. It's incredible.
Right on.
And it does everything it's supposed to do. The Log Me In program works perfect. And I just want to say thanks. The other thing I wanted to mention, Mike, is I wanted to say thank you for letting me be a part of your show with my sponsorship. It's a cool show. You guys give out tons of information. It's really cool to be a part of it, and I want to personally thank you on the air.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the sponsorship, of course, and it's so far it's been fun. It's been great, and I'm glad that you appreciate the show, and I'm glad I could help you out with the solid states because, overall, I'm just glad.
Well, we have tons of computers that we're going to have you upgrade, and I got to tell you, if the people out there in Radioland want an improvement on their regular computer, it is fantastic, and it like you said, it's going to last longer, more efficient, and I can't say enough good about it. So thank you very much for getting us hooked up down at Perfection Auto Works. I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate the call. Thanks. And thanks for letting me do the work. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you got it, man. Take care, guys.
All right. Talk to you later, Mike. So, yeah, I mean, if you don't want to replace a machine, you want to be able to do an upgrade, though, just cheaper than replacing a machine. Because if you're buying a business workstation, you should be spending no less than $600. Because if you buy a machine, and this goes for even home machines, if you buy a machine that's less than $500, desktop machine, you're setting yourself up for unhappiness, right? You're just like, it's like settling for something terrible. It's just, they're not good. It's a disposable machine. So if you're spending less than $600 on a machine, then you're buying a piece of crap. That's really all there is to it. So if you want a cheaper alternative to get the machine to be faster, RAM and solid state upgrade, man, it's cheaper. I mean, you're looking at $300 to $400 somewhere in there, maybe a little more depending on how much RAM, what size solid state you get. But it breathes new life into the machine, and you'll be a lot happier. And sometimes cheaper, right? You can get them for $250 if you get a smaller one, no RAM upgrade. So.
I've been really happy with mine.
Yeah, you had one done on yours. This laptop is solid state. I mean, it's the way of the future, man.
It's beautiful.
It should be the way of the now.
I can't
Get your
imagine
solid state.
not having it at this point.
Oh, it's so much faster, and it's more durable, especially with the laptops, right? Because if you have conventional drives and you jostle a machine or whatever, you can destroy the drive. And solid states are much more stable when it comes to shock and impact and heat and all of these other factors. So consider a solid state upgrade. If you want more information, give us a call down at the shop at 304-8300, and we will happily talk with you about that. And it's a good idea. You should do it.
Do it now.
Do it now. So back to the Orwellian stuff for a moment. So like I'm looking at my daughter's phone right now. Let me scroll up to the top of the page here, and I say activity summary. And it's so far today, she's spent 61% of her time that she's been on her phone on YouTube.
Okay.
15% using the text messaging. And then beyond that, I can just
Random.
click on text messaging and it'll show me all the text messages. And
I like that,
I
though.
can set time restrictions. I can block individual apps. So if I decide that I don't want her using that app anymore, I can just click on a button. That app becomes locked out. And that's pretty awesome. And I'm going to talk to these guys before I mention who they are. But it's really cool. And one of the nicest ones that I've found so far. Because I played with like 5 of them yesterday when I was messing around. Trying to find the right one. And this is the one that had uninstall protection. Means that she can't even get into the settings menu on the phone to like set a password or uninstall an application without putting in a password that I set. And I can turn that on and off remotely from the website even. So it's a pretty cool piece of software. And
As a parent, I highly approve of this.
yeah, it's
As a kid, I would have hated this.
Now, this is mostly an Android thing, right? They offer an I version, but the I version doesn't allow you to lock them out of settings, doesn't allow you to get text messaging contents or any of that stuff. But this is very much an Android-centric protection module. And so far, it's awesome. And I'll look around some more for iTunes stuff so that we can do a formal recommendation at some point. But this is pretty cool stuff. You know, being able to keep your kids safe online is good, and knowing what they're up to.
Yeah.
Like
By a lot.
I know that I'm gonna have to have a conversation with her about her language, right? Because she uses some words
Well.
she shouldn't be using.
Words, they do things.
Yeah. Let's talk about language.
Yeah.
After the break, we'll be back right after this.
Your computer guru, Mike Swanson, is here to help you tame that beast of a machine. Join the chat right now at gurushow.com or call in. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOY, The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOI, The Voice.
So last night, Tara and I went over to the Wake Up Tucson event. What was going on down
7th anniversary.
7th anniversary. Lots of people there.
Lots.
And pretty decent food. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I don't know. I got a chance to see everybody and hang out and have a drink. And
Yeah.
it was good to run into a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time, like the Wake Up Tucson folks.
And they had some good speakers as well.
Right on. Yeah, I agree. So it was fun, and there was a bunch of politicians there.
Oh, yeah.
Some that were aspiring, others that were incumbent.
Correct.
But there's lots of politicians there, and I should have asked them all. What do you think about the
Oh, you should have. That would have been a
FBI
good
stuff? And
opportunity.
yeah, I just didn't think about it. I was just like, meh.
Oh, well.
I'll just hang
There's
out.
always next time.
Have some cheese.
How was the cheese, by
That
the
cheese
way?
was awesome, by the
Was
way.
it?
It was
Have a cheese. Have some crackers.
cheese and crackers, man.
There you go.
And wine.
Yeah, I didn't.
No. Okay. So anyway, it was a lot of fun, and I wonder what they would have thought about the FBI thing.
Yeah, see?
See,
missed
the
opportunity.
FBI, the story is over basically, as it were, because
As it was, anyway.
because the FBI managed to unlock that phone, according to them.
Now it's a new story.
Now it's a completely different story, and more to the point of what the caller last week wanted. It's more about calling the government a D-bag when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
Because they've managed to unlock the phone based on some intelligence provided by the Israeli government.
It's not Israeli
It's not a
government.
government?
It's an Israeli company called Celebrate.
I'm betting that they're somehow related to the government.
Probably.
IDF.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that anyway, they know how to get into the phone now, and they managed to do so. And immediately afterwards, they're like, "Okay, local jurisdictions, anyone having problems getting into an iPhone, because we can do it now, and apparently really easily." And so let's go ahead and just unlock phones all over the place.
It's like an underage kid that gets a fake ID. They're like, I can buy alcohol now. Who
Right.
wants some?
Yeah, no kidding. And this is sort of what we were talking about before, right? This was the whole point of the argument we were having, which is as soon as it becomes available, then it's going to be available everywhere. Now, the form is it's going to happen as far as the governments are concerned at the government level. All right, FBI is going to go to the local governments and say we can unlock all these phones, and then eventually, because the FBI is terrible at keeping secrets, even though it's sort of their job, this particular method or piece of software or whatever they're using is going to make it to the outside world, and then everyone is at risk. Because
the 15-year-old with the underage ID is going to hack into the FBI and then sell it to people for more alcohol money.
Right. So this is where we were at with this whole argument to begin with, which was, if you invent this technology or allow it to become a thing where it's known about, then what's going to happen is it's going to become commonplace. It's going to make it out into the world. Now, I'm sure that Apple's going to have a response to this, right? In next generations of the phones, probably on a hardware level, they're going to change something up to make sure that this doesn't happen. They're probably going to do something on the software level as well to make it even harder.
Right.
So I imagine that this war is not nearly over.
Well, the phone they were trying to break into, the San Bernardino phone, that was an iPhone 5C, wasn't it?
I believe that it was a 6.
Okay. Was it?
Yeah, the previous one, the murder case, was a 5C.
Oh, okay.
So there was a murder case that was, pending on the
Gotcha.
contents of a phone that Apple refused to open. And the FBI couldn't get into that one either for whatever reason. It doesn't have the same hardware encryption that the 6s have. So who knows? But the problem is that the government's going to abuse this newfound ability, and we're going to have to come up with a different way to keep ourselves safe from prying eyes.
And everybody with that particular phone should worry right now.
Well, the thing is that as long as it's a hardware thing, right, where they have to physically have the phone, it's still not quite as scary. But I'm guessing that if you can do it with the phone physically, eventually they're going to figure out how to do it remotely, and then every phone is at risk because they'll be able to just remotely access the data on your phone without you knowing about it. And that's sort of the point. That was why we were railing against the FBI for a month, was because we don't need this type of blatant violation of the Fourth Amendment, digitally speaking.
Right.
So to me it's a bigger issue as far as our privacies and our concerns as they pertain to the digital age, and there needs to be some sort of scrutiny when it comes to the Constitution and how our world is now digital, which of course I imagine was completely unfathomable even 50 years ago. Not to mention when the Constitution was written. So we need to find a way that we determine whether or not our digital presence, which everyone's life is now dependent on, is somehow protected by the Constitution. And that's important. And we also need to stop storing data. Just stop it.
Yeah. Put a time limit.
I have a question.
Sure.
So is this device that they broke into, or this company broke into, is it software or is it firmware on the phone?
Nobody will tell us.
There can be either one.
So far, they're being very tight-lipped.
So if they break in, the Israeli company broke in, they got they allowed the FBI to get it. I mean, couldn't Apple change the code, basically upload to all the phones, and it basically nullify that?
Yeah, and I'm thinking that'll probably happen once Apple, because Apple doesn't even know how they did it yet.
Well, so they say.
Well, according to Apple, they said that the FBI has not shared with them the way in which that they obtain the data. Now, I'm sure that Apple can take a very educated guess on how that could happen based on the fact, I don't know, they made the phone. So, I'm sure that they know that there are a couple of possible ways to do it, and they'll probably patch those possibilities, depending on how they did it. Now, one of the speculations that is out there is that they managed to just clone the storage from the phone on a hardware level, just grab all the data and clone it to a different storage medium, and then run a brute force attack on it. Right, so that it's definitely they don't have to worry about the data being destroyed by the protection mechanisms in the phone when they put it on their own storage, and they can just blast it all day long. And if you're looking at like a four-digit numerical code, that'll take like 12 seconds to brute force. So that's the method that is most widely thought to be the way they're doing it. And if that's the case, that's great because it still means they physically have to have the phone. And it means that, somebody has to come and take your phone away from you in order to get the data off of it.
But they're not really going to share that right now because as of now that they've broken into the phone, it has resumed back into a normal case. So they're not just going to release information like they were. So we'll have to wait.
Yep, we'll have to wait and see. Because I'm imagining it's going to come out, or they're just going to mark it as, this is a now government secret.
Yeah.
And we'll see in 25 years, when it becomes declassified.
Or 2 when it gets hacked.
So we'll see. I'm of two minds on this. All right. Sure, I'm happy that the FBI is going to get the information that they need to look at this case. My guess is that they're going to find nothing of real value on that phone, and this will have all been a waste of time and money. But the other side of that is I'm unhappy for the privacy that all of us are somehow losing as a result of them finding a way to do this. So we'll have to see what Apple's response is and see what they do.
Yeah.
To make things, different. It's never going to end, right?
No.
Just like with the hackers, the hackers always have the upper hand, right? Because they are looking for weaknesses that you don't know about. When you are the protector, all right, if you are the person or organization that is important for keeping things safe, like if you walk around, you're a security consultant, and you walk around somebody's house and you say, well, we should put a glass break sensor here and maybe a shutter here and different locks here. You're walking around looking for all of these vulnerabilities in someone's house, and you only know about the ones you know about. Mm-hmm. And that's all you can protect is the things that are visible to you and that you know about. And but if you're the attacker, all right, you're looking at this from a completely different point of view. You're looking for any weakness.
You're digging a tunnel underneath the house.
Right. You're doing something that is not going to be common. And you're going to be, because with the hacking stuff, it's so nuanced, right? It's like, well, I'm going to do everything I can to confuse the machine, right? Because the computer might be expecting a pause here. It might be expecting that I enter 5 digits as a response. So what happens if I enter 10 or 15 or 5,000 or 5 million characters? How's the software going to respond to that? And if the software blows up and gives you information back, then great. You've successfully hacked something. And it's all about these types of things, right? It's about if the computer's expecting one thing, give it something else and see what happens. And as long as you're patient, you're going to make it in, right? That you can't keep people out. And so as a defender, right, I feel sorry for, the defenders that are out there. They don't have a choice. All they have to do is wait and see. It's always going to be some sort of a reactive response, even though you try as hard as you can to make it proactive. Anyway, let's take a break. And when we get back from the break, we're going to take some phone calls, I hope. 790-2040. Or we'll talk about more hacking stuff in the world in which we know it. Be right back.
Computer troubles? Need some advice? Call in now. Mike Swanson will be back after these messages. The Computer Guru Show, AM 1030, KVOY, The Voice. Your technology guru, Mike Swanson, is answering all your questions one by one.
Yes, science!
So chime in with yours. The website is gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show.
So apparently you can pre-order your electric car, your Tesla Model 3, car that starts at $35,000, all electric, as compared to the Model S, $100,000 car.
Yeah.
So a whole lot cheaper, and apparently there's already 150,000 pre-orders and climbing for the Tesla Model 3.
I think that's a good thing, though.
I think so, too. So I think the Model 4, just, if we take the same math, should be $5,000.
That would be nice.
Right, so
I'd buy that.
Right, so if we go from 100,000 to 35, then I'll take it down to $10,000 for the.
I'd even go for 10
for the Model 4. That'll work. I think that we could do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the Tesla cars are living up to their word. All right, they said that they would be making electric cars affordable within the next decade, and they're doing exactly that. And I really think that the next model will be even cheaper.
Yeah.
Right? They'll probably have another high-end model to go out with it, but I'm thinking that if they can keep making them cheaper, then yeah, let's do it. Let's put some electric cars on the road.
Heck yeah.
And together with the Tesla battery packs that they have, and solar panels, and everything that ties together, you can effectively drive for free with zero carbon, which is kind of nice. Yeah. And they're offering a battery recycling program, so you don't have to worry about batteries ending up in bad places, because they will break those batteries down, repurpose all of the materials, and turn them back into new batteries again. So, yeah.
Good deal.
Right on. Elon Musk trying to save the world. There we go. All right, let's talk to Scott. Hello, Scott. How are you?
Hi, Mike. Scott here, and you guys have a great show. I just want to mention that to you. I have a Dell XPS 420 running Windows 10, and I keep having this driver update pop up. I can't find it on my computer. How do I get rid of it?
So, explain to me what you're seeing. What's it say? Does it say?
It just says it's driver update.
Is it lower right-hand corner in blue?
Yes, correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it is installed on the machine. There's a piece of software called Driver Update that's installed on the machine. And how long has it been doing this? That's the question.
Yeah, probably since I converted from Windows 8 to 10, which has been about 2 or 3 months ago.
Okay. So the company that makes Driver Update is called Slim Drivers. So you might need to look in the S's instead of the D's.
Okay, Slim Drivers.
And so they're depending on which version is on your machine, it'll either show up as Driver Update by Slim Driver, or just Driver Update, or it'll show up as Slim Driver Update.
Okay.
So it's on the machine if you see it there. Now,
Alrighty.
If you can't find it in your Add Remove Programs list, one of the things that you can use is something called the Revo Uninstaller. And it's a free piece of software you can download, and it does this thing called search mode. So you can just open the Revo, put it in search mode, and then click on the program you want to install, like the little window that's open that says, hey, here's your driver update. And it will find the program associated with that and uninstall it.
And the name of that again is?
Revo, R-E-V-O.
Thank you.
Revo Uninstaller.
Thank you, Mike. Great show again.
Thanks for the call, Scott. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, if you want to get rid of Driver Update, which you should, because Driver Update is a terrible piece of software, get rid of it. And well, I guess let's go ahead and run down that road a little bit, because there's some software out there that I just think that people shouldn't have. They're not necessarily viruses. They're not necessarily even hurtful to the machine. They're just hurtful to your Windows experience, one of which being Driver Update. There's an equivalent for the Mac side that is out there, and that's the Mac Keeper software, which is garbage. So if you have that on your machine, good luck getting rid of it, because it installs itself in such a way that it is very difficult to remove. There are some tutorials online, though, that just show you how to do it. But not only that, but anything made by Iolo, you can get rid of that, because most of the IOBit stuff, software is no good. Spybot Search and Destroy, even though it used to be an awesome program in the XP era, is completely worthless these days. If you have the 360 version of Norton or the McAfee McAfee Protect You From Everything version, both of those are terrible. The full version of Kaspersky is and it's a great antivirus. It is a dog. It just drags the system down to near unusable levels. It's just no good. It's terrible for your user experience. The only pieces of software that you should have on your machine as far as protection is concerned, or utilities, would be like Malwarebytes Pro, the paid version that is active, and any of the either free or low-cost antiviruses that are only antiviruses that don't do anything else, and CCleaner. which is pretty much the only things that we say that should be on machines as far as protection and performance utilities are concerned. Everything else is worthless. If you have Java on your machine, get rid of it. Make it go away. And there are some exceptions to that. Some people actually still require Java. And if your work requires you to have Java, you should probably just quit your job. I'm just kidding. But some people, their work requires them to have Java, and it's terrible, and I'm sorry for you. But if you don't require it, get rid of it. And you know how you can tell? Uninstall it. Find out if you can still do your job. If you can, great. If not, well, then you have to put it back. Same thing goes for Flash Player. Flash Player should be gone these days. There is no point at all to Flash Player at all anywhere. And, YouTube now does HTML5 stuff. I just don't like it. Now, there are still some instances, just like Java, where it is required, but it's another one of those things that the way you're going to find out is by removing Flash and finding out. And if a website ever pops up and says, hey, you need to update your Flash Player, don't ever click on the link. Never, ever click on the link. If you need to go get an updated Flash Player, you go to get.adobe.com/Flash Player, and that's where you get it's the only place you get the Flash Player. Because otherwise it's fake, and it's a virus. And
there's a lot of them.
Oh, yeah. There's all of them. If you ever see that on a Mac, by the way, it's 100% entirely fake. Right? Because, first of all, Flash Player is built in on the Macs. It's built right into Safari and Chrome. So you don't ever have to deal with that. And that's one of the other things, by the way. Just use Chrome. Chrome doesn't require the Flash Player. It's built in. Chrome doesn't require Java. It's built in. So stop using that Explorer. It's no good.
The what?
Explorer.
Where are you from now?
Well, the end of the last show, they were talking about Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, that is true.
So it suddenly popped in at 2 minutes to the end of the show.
Just stop.
Okay. So we want to take an opportunity to ask you guys to help support us. And the way that you can do that, because we pay for this show, more accurately, I pay for this show. And I'm not here at the behest of the radio station. I am here because I give them money, and you can help me offset that cost.
Help me to help you.
Yes, help me to help you. You can go to patreon.com, that's patreon.com/Guru Show, and you can donate as little as $1 a month. And what we're trying to do is get enough money so that we can extend the show to 2 hours or roll out the web show so there's enough money to support all of the costs involved with that. If you give us as little as $1 a month, we say thank you. And thank you to everyone who does. But if you give more, you can get mentioned. You can get a spot to be mentioned at the end of the show, specifically like
Desert Pro Commercial Cleaning, LLC, the best Tucson janitorial services, and you can find them at TucsonDesertPro.com.
Or you can check out their work at 64 North Harrison because they clean the Eastside location, and it is nice. It's awesome.
Pretty.
It is. Nothing sticky even.
I would hope not.
It's one of the things I hate. I go to places and they look all clean, but it's like the surfaces are sticky. Anyway, thanks again to Perfection Auto Works for supporting us, and we very much appreciate them. Bring your computers down to see us for any of your technology needs at 510 East Fort Lowell or 64 North Harrison, because we're here to help you, or give us a call at 304-8300 or visit the website at azcomputerguru.com. We'll see you next week.